Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here with a update on a new league I've joined. As you can see on screen, United Battle Championship, the UBC. My buddy Adam commissions this league, or whatever you want to call it. He's the owner, the creator, whatever. Pretty sick logo here with the Zygarde 50%, like shadow kind of thing. Yeah, so pretty much they were looking for applications and whatnot, and so I pretty much was like, yo, I'll join. Filled out an application or whatever, and yeah, so here I am with a draft analysis. The draft is over. Pokemon Showdown, of course, with it'll be Sun and Moon Mons, of course. Oh well, it'll be all the Pokemon that are currently legal or whatever. A few bans, of course, and then we do have they do have a YouTube channel here, so check that out for the weekly power rankings and things like that, I suppose. Anyways, my draft is complete, so I'll go ahead and hop into the team builder here and show off the first mon I drafted, being Victini. And yeah, I know I just drafted this in the ITL, but I had 11th pick and this thing was still on the board, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. I like Victini. Like I said, I think Fire Psychic is going to be a really good type in the format for Generation 7 and whatnot. So basically, it was there, so I was like, hey, I'll take it. I wanted Manaphy, but it was taken #1 overall for good reason, obviously. Like I said in my last draft analysis, Victini is really good, for just about any item, any like certain berries you need to use, and with the base 100 stats, it can be offensive, defensive, especially defensive, speedy, bulky, annoying, taunt, will-o-wisper. I think it gets Calm Mind. No, I don't think it does get Calm Mind. I think I checked that the other day during one of my team building sessions for the ITL. But yeah, it does get Taunt and Trick and Will-O-Wisp, so those are really good. Of course, it gets V-Create, the move you just click because you can. That's why. Really good coverage, really good Pokemon. U-turn and initiative, like I said, just really good coverage with the elements, fire, electric, grass. I think it lacks the water coverage, but that's okay. It gets Focus Blast and Brick Break and Final Gambit and a bunch of fighting type attacks. Even like sub power up punch is a good set with access to Psychic and Psyshock, Shadow Boss, Signal Beam. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff here. I think it'll be a great team captain for the team again. Anytime I draft Victini, it's going to be team captain, and of course rocking the Nike nickname again, because Greek god of victory, victory star. Victini is a pun on victory, so yeah, so good Nike there. Basically, you can base 100 mons. It's a good speed tier, I believe. In my opinion, you can speed creep a lot of things, but another good thing about it, being base 100 is those faster mons are forced to run timid and jolly to speed creep, Victini, and so that means like some of my defensive Pokemon can take better hits because of that, not being adamant or modest or something like that. And like I said, just a really great and versatile Pokemon for the format. I think Victini will do great things, just like I think it will in the ITL. And yeah, it's good for steel types, good for fairy types. Puts a lot of pressure on both, and it only really fears like bulky ground types or something that's something that can maybe outspeed it, like a Garchomp or something like that. But we do have fairy coverage for dragons and whatnot. So basically, Victini here is just going to do what it does best. It's going to click V-Create, it's going to click Blue Flare, it's going to click Fusion Bolt, and, you know, things like that, Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Switch Initiative. Yeah, so Victini, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, rocks the 100 base stats, so that's really good. And we'll move on to the round 2 pick here. I had the 6th pick in the 2nd round, so like I said, bulky water types and bulky ground types could be a nuisance for Victini. So I was going to get something to go ahead and take care of bulky water types, which I have a few of them on my team, but this one being most important, being another tier 1 pick. I got my boy Ether, and yes, I did draft this in the ITL as well, but we do like Manaphy this time. So no Manaphy, Victini and Zapdos, my boy Ether here. Sports some great stats, great abilities. Another mom with great coverage, with access to Roost and Defog. So utility Pokemon if I need it to be. Toxic and Roost can, you know, toxic stall some Pokemon, you know, kind of like I do with Mandibuzz. Tailwind support, that's really good. Volt Turn in one mon here, so basically maybe if my opponent has like a electric immunity and a ground type or something, or a Volt Absorb or Lightning Rod Pokemon, I can just, you know, U-turn out instead of having a Volt Switch and stuff. It can be this would be the only Pokemon, not the only, but one of the only Pokemon that I can run a Z Crystal on. So I don't even, yeah, here we go, Electrium Z or whatever, or wow, what would it be? Yeah, Flying Neem Z, what the fuck? Yeah, I guess I just put Neem, whatever. Anyways, Zapdos, always been a threat in the format. You see multiple people use it great. I know Miguel used it really good in the GBA. Sebastian used it really good in the ITL Season 3. If you watch the National Pokeball League, my boy Gypsy King, he just got a agility sweep with a Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, Signal Beam set, and Modest Life Orb agility. Pretty sweet set. So this mon's really good in the format. Leftovers, you know, Charty Berry, Yachi Berry, depending on what kind of matchup you have. Life Orb, leftovers. Just really versatile. Has great coverage, like I was saying with Victini. Maybe not great coverage, but it does have good coverage, enough to be flexible in the format and whatnot. And I think my boy Ether here put in some work. Being a Gen 1 mon, you know, it's, you know, OG, original gangster. So yeah, my first 2 picks I was very happy with, and then basically after my first 2 picks, I take whatever's on the board. The draft was very slow. We took our time on the draft, so there was no rush and stuff. So we had plenty of time to look at the tiers. And next, I knew that the tier 2 Pokemon were gonna go fast, and I couldn't get any more tier 1s, so I might as well go ahead and pick up a tier 2 mon. And one of the mons that's just wrecking the OU metagame right now in Sun and Moon is my boy Mamoswine. So I have a lot of experience using Mamoswine. I like it a lot. Very powerful, very fat, and decent speed. You know, 80 base speed's pretty good. 130 base attack though, with the priority Ice Shard ability to, you know, Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Life Orb, Expert Belt, Muscle Band, just whatever I need for a certain matchup or something. Maybe even a Focus Sash Oblivious lead. Has some good abilities here. I don't think I'll run Snow Cloak because I probably won't have Hell Up ever this season. But Thick, Fat, and Oblivious, so I can't be taunted, and then Thick, Fat, so I'll lose 2 weaknesses there. And very powerful Stab, Earthquake, and Ice Sickle Crash. Just one of the best dual types in the game, and ability to just run your dual stab every match unless you face something like a Miltank. With access to knockoff and superpower, and all mons get toxic, so that's not really saying anything. It does have the ability to run natural gift, which is pretty cool. Might see that or something this season. Don't know yet. Depends on matchups, like I was saying. So yeah, freeze dry. Yeah, freeze dry. That's really nice. Don't have the best special attack, but freeze dry could always be good. If you face like a bulky water type that wants to switch in, you can surprise it with the freeze dry or something. Not real sure, but I like Mamoswine, my boy Zero here, and I was very happy to pick it up in round 3. I don't know if it would have lasted till round 4. I don't know if I could have waited, but I was pretty confident in the rest of my mons being around later on, so I wasn't in no rush to get the other ones as much as I was to get Mamoswine here. I think it was one of the best tier 2 picks in my opinion, and just I think with Victini and Zapdos, I think it's going to do great things for the team. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Zero, the Mamoswine. Again, that was the 11th pick in round 3. So we move back to the round 4 where we have the 6th pick again, and I went with none other than Mega Gardevoir. Say Diantha here, great ability in Pixelate, making that hyper voice very powerful. I forget what its base. I think it's like 116 or something base power. Another psychic type for my team, but it's not really like a dark weakness considering it's neutralized by the fairy typing. And in conjunction with Victini, steel types shouldn't be too much of a problem. Dark types might be, but it just depends how fast they are, I suppose. Mega Gardevoir sports a 165 base special attack, and that's fucking insane. That's close to what Mega Alakazam rocks, with just, you know, a lot more bulk and a lot less speed. But I'll have some ways of dealing with faster threats, I suppose. Basically, I can get the Hyper Voice, the Psyshock, the Psykick, the Healing Wish, the Heal Bell, a Shadow Ball, Taunt, Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunately, I can't Trick because obviously I can't trick away my my Megastone, but that's fine and dandy, I suppose. Gets the Focus Blast somewhere on here. I know it does. And T-Wave, like I said, for speed control. Thunderbolt. So really good coverage with access to both screens and Memento and things like that. Encore and Destiny Bond, Disable, Calm Mind. Just be a really powerful Pokemon. Can set up, can late game sweep if everything, you know, get that chip damage in, and just be a threat to a lot of teams. Yeah, so that's my girl Diantha. If you don't get that nickname, you probably didn't play Gen 6. So yeah, we move on to round 5 now, and I had again the 11th pick in round 5, and I wanted to go ahead and grab. I knew I was getting potentially was going to be ground weak with a few of my late picks that I knew wouldn't go before me because a lot of people done had their no spoilers, but I knew I was going to have a ground weakness, so I was going to go ahead and pick up bulky grass type. Tangrowth was on my list as always, but of course there's no way Tangrowth is going to last till round 5. As a matter of fact, it went in round 2. It was the last pick of round 2, I believe, or maybe the first pick of round 2. I'm not sure. It was on one of the wheels of round 2, and basically I just dropped to my backup, you know, one of those base 100 mons again. Got my girl Shaymin here. Gracie's going to put in some work this season, I do hope. Great Scald switch in. That's another reason I drafted it. Victini and Mamoswine, they do not like to be scald burnt, and Shaymin can switch in. And don't mind being burnt because I can switch out anytime and have that healed with the natural cure. Aromatherapy, really good coverage as you can see here. And Healing Wish, Aromatherapy, Lead Seed, like I said, the good coverage, the ability to Swords Dance and Seed Bomb, and the Tailwind and whatnot. I think Shaymin would be, surprise a bunch of other players in the league. I think it's overlooked because things like Tangrowth is so good, Mega Venusaur so good. I think the Pure Grass type is one of the best types in the format, and I think it'll work well with Victini, Zapdos, and Shaymin. I do have all three of them in the ITL, but there's if you can draft good Pokemon, why not draft them? So, like I said, really great stats, great Scald, probably the best Scald switching in the game, minus like a Volcanion or something, but really, what are you going to do back to a water type with Volcanion? Exactly. Now, back to my point here, back to my draft here, I should say. We moved to round 6, and I do have the 6th pick in all the even rounds. So I needed a. So basically, I have a mandatory tier 1, tier 2, and a tier 3 now, with a Mega Evolution that give me 0 points, and I have another tier 1 that cost me 180 points. So basically, I need one more tier 3, a tier 4, and a tier 5 to cash out on my mandatory picks, and then I'll have like 220 points for my last 3 budget points. So I was gonna go ahead and pick up a tier 4 mon because I hate tier 4, can't stand it, and I know the best mon in tier 4, in my opinion, is Ditto. And you look at its stats and you say that's piss poor, but then you look at this ability right here and you say, oh damn, that's one of the best mons in the format. Just throw on max HP and any threat, any setup threats. Say Manaphy, for example, if it wants to set up a Tail Glow and a Rain Dance for me and let me come in and be that, let me trace its stats and whatnot and become that Manaphy, I'll threaten his own team. For example, Charizard, Mega Charizard X, let it set up 10 Dragon Dances, let it kill off my Shaymin, come in and trace its stats, and what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, mainly it's so teams don't run setup against me, and not as much for me to trace their setups. Sometimes I won't even bring it. Sometimes I'll bring it to 4 or 5 matches in a row. It all depends on the matchup, like I always say. And always been one of my favorite Pokemon in the format. Reverse sweep teams with it. It's pretty nice. My boy Savage used it in the NSL, used it in the PBF, used it in the ITL, I believe, once, and now here we have it again in the UBC. Also used it in the UAL with the GBA analyst and whatnot, and they recognize Ditto as a threat in the format. Of course, how Gym Leader Geo's used it in the past, like 3 or 4 seasons in a row or something like that. Not real sure. Anyways, that was the first half of the draft. So we moved on into the 7th round, which is the ass end of the draft there, and my first pick was Cobalion. Lucario was taken, but that's fine. I didn't really want Lucario again. I wanted this in the ITO. It got sniped, so I grabbed Lucario. This time Lucario was taken first, so I got my boy Cobalion here. Athos. Really good defense, great speed, HP and attack's really good, special attack's good. Stealth Rocks, Swords Dance, Close Combat, Iron Head, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Shuka Berry, Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Specs, Life Orb, Leftovers. I believe it has access to Taunt as well. Yeah, Taunt. I believe it gets Rock Polish and Swords Dance, so it could be a dual dance set. I don't know if Swagger's allowed in this format, but that's not really relevant. I'm not a Swagger user anyway. And basically, this is a I would say I don't really know how to explain it. It's a steel type. I got it because it was a steel type and had access to stealth rocks. That's why I got this bad boy. I only had one stealth rocker in Mamoswine at the time, so now I have two, and I'll probably draft one more. We'll get to that. I know if I do or not, but I don't want to spoil anything. This mon's really good for setup, really good for utility, volt switch around, close combat, very powerful base 120 attack, and you know, sports the base 90 attack right here and its own stats. So I think Cobalion will do great things for us, being one of those Musketeer legendaries. Anyways, my next pick was actually Snorlax, and then I chose Gyarados, but the spreadsheet formula was screwed up or something, so my points said I could have both of them, and managed to finish my draft with like 2 tier 4 mons or something like that. But then we looked at it in depth and whatnot, and I couldn't have Snorlax and Gyarados, and I've used Snorlax before and I really wanted to use Gyarados, so I just went ahead and dropped Snorlax, replaced it with Gyarados, Carnage here, the shiny, you know, red Gyarados from the Lake of Rage and whatnot. Intimidate, Moxie, really great abilities, access to Dragon Dance, and it can be a really good special defensive mon with, you know, great stats basically across the board. Probably wouldn't run a special attacking set anyway. Dragon Dance, did I already say that? Dragon Dance, did I already say that? You get the point. Dragon Dance Moxie set's pretty damn good. I don't know how good it'll be in the format, especially with bulky waters being a crucial part of teams, like a very mandatory staple on most draft format teams is the bulky water type. But again, I don't have to run an offensive set. I can run like a taunt, T-Wave, toxic substitute set. What? I know that don't make sense with like double status, especially when you can't get both statuses on one mon or whatever. But yeah, I think Gyarados here will be really fun to use. Yeah, 100% fun to use, I do believe. Especially, like I said, with access to taunt. I think taunt's really good. I think sub Dragon Dance is really good. I don't think that set will ever fall off. The sub Dragon Dance waterfall bounce set. It's not as bulky as its mega counterpart, but it does have access to 2 great abilities. Even though Mold Breaker is one of the best abilities in the game, not just the format, but in the game. I think Intimidate, and as you see, my next mon is another Intimidator. So I got the double Intimidator core with the ability to Moxie Sweep. So that's actually interesting. I didn't notice that until I just started explaining this. My next pick's going to be Scrafty, and that's another Intimidate and Moxie user with the ability to Dragon Dance. So that's pretty cool. I've used Scrafty before in the ITL, and it was actually one of the mons that helped me out in some big ass games. You know, with Intimidate and Assault Vest, this thing is really hard to you know, damage. Access to Drain Punch makes it just really annoying. Can run the Dragon Dance Moxie or Dragon Dance Intimidate or bulk up sets with Drain Punch, so it just gets really high attack and then just gets all of its HP back after you damage it a little bit. That's a good fake out user, another taunter. I think Scrafty will do good things for the team. I don't think I'm real fairy weak, but I was dark weak, and this is a fine ass dark switch in. Being able to take knockoffs and sucker punches and foul plays even, because when it rocks, when it's just sitting there, a foul play is not going to do much. Even if I set up a Dragon Dance or a bulk up or something, it just don't do that much. It doesn't do that much damage. So my next pick was going to be a flying type. Yeah, another flying type, and I wanted to get some speed on the team. So I went ahead and picked up Swellow here, the Kamikaze. If you don't understand that nickname, then you don't know what this bird does. Basically, it's a really good guts user with powerful dual stab and like Brave Bird and Double Edge, and of course Facade. With the nerf to burn, yeah, like, you know, it does like 6% instead of the 13% or whatever. I think Guts is going to be a great ability in the meta game and the format as well. I think I did my calculations, and when I'm Guts boosted, my attack goes just above my speed at like 126, 127 base attack. And then, you know, has those insanely powerful Brave Bird and Double Edges, and also gives me another defogger, a pursuit user, another mon that can set up a late game tailwind, agility even, and another U-turner. So that's gonna be my next to last pick. And basically, I wanted one more Stealth Rocker, and I think it's a tier 4 or tier 5 mon. I'm not real sure which tier it's in. I'm pretty sure Swellow's a tier 5. I know that I'm about 99% sure. And I think my next pick, Exodia here, the Golurt, is going to be, I think it's a tier 4, tier 5, one of the two. Maybe a tier 5, not real sure. It don't really matter. Yeah, it don't really matter. Really good attack, great, not great, but above average defenses, and pretty decent HP. Pretty slow, but again, it can eat a hit and then dish out pretty strong attacks. Has the ability No Guard and Iron Fist. Probably won't use Klutz. I don't think that's trash. Yeah, that is trash. Iron Fist and No Guard would be pretty damn good though. Stab Earthquake, Shadow Ball, No Guard Stone Edges, Stealth Rock, Elemental Punches. I don't know if it gets Fire Punch, but it gets Thunder Punch and Ice Punch, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good coverage for this mon anyway. Like I said, powerful dynamic punch. Well, not powerful, but it doesn't miss, so that makes it powerful. And just really strong Earthquake and access to Stealth Rocks. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, access to Stealth Rocks. So I have 3 Stealth Rock users now, and that's definitely important for the team. I think, in my humble opinion, that is. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be my last pick, and that's gonna sum it up for the draft this season 4. UBC season 4, Blackmont Rye Cougars. Yeah, that's gonna be it right there. Basically, you see on screen there, that's my squad. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you would have done different. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Constructive criticism is accepted and encouraged. I thought long and hard about a different mega. I thought, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil which one I was thinking about, but I was thinking about a different one. There was a few megas that I think should have been picked that were not picked, which is fine by me because I don't have to face them. So yeah, that's basically my UBC Season 4 squad. And yeah, I guess that's it. So if you like, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in week 1. Probably do team builders. Or if not, before I show my replay, I will go over my team and whatnot right then and there. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.